The United States is a capitalist economy that is based on private ownership, open markets, and businesses and organizations. Yet, this is not a perfect economic system. There are several prominent issues, one of the biggest being income inequality. Income inequality has been steadily growing in every state, and this has led to more families and individuals without income for basic necessities, such as groceries. This has led to more individuals relying on food pantries for their sustenance, such as the Chittenden County Food Shelf. The food shelf depends on grants largely from the state and federal governments and in-kind donations. While this is a good short-term solution, it does not address the core issue of growing income inequality.
We went to the Chittenden Emergency Food Shelf to gather more information about the organization. The food shelf serves about 3 to 500 people in need daily, many of which are homeless. They offer the only free breakfast in Burlington and work to make sure no food is wasted. The food shelf helps these people who have not benefited from the capitalist economy in the long run by reducing food costs so they can spend the money they do have on bills and also providing healthier options than they might otherwise have. Food shelters relying on donations is not the ideal situation. The government could be doing more by investing more in the food stamp program and reducing the amount of restrictions on qualifying for the program.
People with health issues and allergies have limited options here, and there's also a stigma around having to go to a food shelter. There was lots of media coverage around the 800,000 government workers that needed help during the shutdown, but the food shelf saw no increase in the amount of people coming in. This is everyday life for 40 million Americans. As a charity, the food shelf tries to be non-political and help anyone in need. The U.S. got all the economic benefits from World War II and still has this problem, while countries that were devastated after the war are outperforming us in terms of helping vulnerable populations within their country. The money used for the F-35 jet in Burlington would be able to wipe out food insecurity in Vermont.
Capitalism is relevant in university models with a more recent trend in transforming universities to profit-making corporations. An example of this is the number of high-income businessmen and women on university boards. While the Chittenden Food Shelf provides meals for locals, food insecurity is also a major issue for UVM students. A campus food pantry is in the works. However, there is discussion of whether it would drain resources from the Chittenden location. Nearly 20% of UVM students are food insecure, according to a survey conducted by the university last spring. This may be a short-term solution for students, but the issue is increasingly impacting communities around Vermont and the United States.
In Burlington, Vermont, there is a number of different safety net programs like the food shelf as well as different homeless shelters. After speaking with people who work at the food shelf and reading over some similar organizations' websites, the common theme is that although these programs are important and help, most people would rather they do not exist. Although very beneficial and necessary, the food pantries and homeless shelters are a bandage to a larger problem that they cannot address, and these problems need to be solved.